From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're still seeing some very warm temperatures across the area. In fact, we're right now into the 80s, 81 degrees in Lansing, 79 in Charlotte, 82 in Jackson, and 81 degrees in Hillsdale. Satellite radar is showing just some upper level clouds starting to bubble up. That's just going to continue as we head into the night tonight. Unfortunately, though, those temperatures are still going to be quite mild as we head into tonight, which is really going to impact our weather tomorrow. As we continue over the next couple of days, we'll continue to see those temperatures warming up each and every day, and we'll continue to see the chance for temperatures into the 90s as we head into the weekend. But for tonight, we're sticking into the 70s, eventually back down into the 60s, right around 66 degrees as we head into the 6 a.m. hour for tomorrow morning. We'll continue to keep an eye on the forecast as we move into Wednesday with the chance of those stronger storms. I'll have the full details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
A child is in critical condition tonight after being hit by a garbage truck. It's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Jorma Duran. The collision between the young child and the garbage truck happened just before 2 this afternoon near North Grand River and Seeger Streets in Lansing. When officers arrived, they quickly blocked off the area, and the young boy who had been hit was taken to the hospital. We learned shortly afterwards that the 5-year-old is in critical condition. Police have identified the driver of the truck and say he is cooperating with the investigation. We'll bring you more on this developing story as information becomes available.
Well, Michigan officials are on high alert tonight after the attacks on 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses.
Some say this violence is the result of America's unhealthy political climate that's full of hate.
Zach Breeze spoke with local lawmakers today about what can be done to stop the violence. What did they tell you, Zach?
Siobhan, Jorma, the officials that I spoke to, they shared a common message, and that's that violence is never an acceptable way to solve political disputes. Whether it be the assassination attempt on President Donald Trump during his campaign or the recent shootings of 2 Minnesota lawmakers, they say people must solve disputes at the polls.
Democratic State Representative Emily Devendorf is well aware that one of her Minnesota counterparts was just killed in her own home.
And the reaction that remains is horror at the assassination of another state legislator. We receive violent threats regularly when we go into public service, that it has become a part of the job, and that is completely unacceptable.
Devendorf says violence begins with violent talk, and that in the end, it doesn't really solve anything.
Hateful and violent rhetoric can make political violence that much more likely. Political violence and treating each other as less than human does nothing to resolve a conflict.
Others, like Republican Representative Bill Schuette from Midland County, say disagreement is natural, but violence is not.
You know, in the United States of America, we're going to disagree on issues. Let's make sure that we hash out those disagreements based on the persuasiveness of our arguments, not through any form of physical or political violence.
And all of this is leading some to take increased precautions for their own safety.
We are committed to continuing to advocate and to be out in our communities, but it might look different sometimes at this time in history. We will need to strengthen our security.
And another common theme expressed by State Representative Kara Hope from Holt was the concern that some qualified candidates may actually avoid politics altogether for fear for their own safety. Back to you.
Zach, thank you very much. Also at the state capitol, a new bill has been introduced that, if passed, would safeguard the rights of college athletes in Michigan to earn money for the use of their name, image, and likeness that's free from undue interference by universities or athletic governing bodies.
The proposed bill would prohibit colleges and universities from enforcing any rule that limits a student's right to earn NIL compensation. It also bans athletic associations or conferences from retaliating against athletes, agents, institutions, or third parties involved in NIL agreements.
It would also challenge the legality of third-party NIL approval processes that limit market-based compensation.
Well, many people are homeless tonight after a fire at an apartment complex in Okemos.
Kylie Shapansky was on the scene this afternoon and is here for you now with all those details. Kylie.
Siobhan, Jorma, residents of Arrow Tree Apartments were asked to evacuate as crews worked to put out the large fire. And tonight, officials say many of the apartments around where the fire started are a total loss. At the scene, we saw lots of smoke and flames coming from the building on Minocqua Trail as the fire spread from one apartment to another. Crews from the Meridian Township, East Lansing, and Lansing Fire Department were all on the scene, as well as Ingham County Emergency Management. We spoke with a resident of the apartment where the fire started. They say they were moving into the apartment when the wall behind the stove caught fire. They say the stove was not in use when the fire began.
Ear to the ground. It sounds like, I don't want to say electrical, but like it sounds like there was a burner or something. I don't know. Everyone's kind of confused and just kind of piecing it together right now.
By the time we got here, the fire was actually already venting out the door and got up into the attic and obviously spread through a few of the other apartments. So we put a lot of manpower and staff on it, and we've got the fire out, but we're looking for hot spots right now. And
we also spoke with a resident who lives right next door to where the fire started. He says he was able to go in and found one of his cats, but the two other are still missing. He says the community is still stunned.
Kylie, thank you very much. Well, in Potterville, a construction accident this afternoon at the high school gym sends 2 people to the hospital.
Yeah, it happened just after 2 o'clock when construction workers were placing steel decking on top of steel trusses over the gymnasium.
Officials say about half a dozen trusses fell 40 feet and hit 2 men. Both workers were taken to a Lansing hospital. One is listed in critical condition. The other is listed in stable condition. Michigan OSHA officials are now leading the investigation, and they've stopped all work at the construction site until the area is cleared by state officials.
Well, tonight, state police are investigating a deadly crash that happened at a rural intersection in Eaton County.
State police say it took place around noon yesterday at the intersection of Mulliken Road and M50, which is in Chester Township. Investigators say a woman was driving south on Mulliken toward M50 and did not stop at the stop sign, hitting a car heading north on the highway. The passenger in that car, a man from Sunfield, was thrown out of it and later pronounced dead at a hospital. Both drivers were taken to a hospital with minor injuries. In Jackson, authorities are now investigating a shooting that sent a 26-year-old woman to the hospital.
Yeah, this happened on the 300 block of East Robinson Street on Saturday. Officers responded to calls of gunshots and found several casings and multiple vehicles in that area that had bullet holes.
The woman was dropped off at the hospital with gunshot wounds. She is expected to survive. A 33-year-old man was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon, but the incident remains under investigation. In Ingham County, the sheriff's office has a warning for you tonight after investigators say an elderly woman got scammed out of nearly $10,000. They say the woman got a call from someone pretending to be a police officer and claiming the woman's daughter had been arrested and needed $9,500 for bail. The woman handed over the money, but through a coordinated effort between the sheriff's office and the FBI, investigators were able to identify a suspect who they believe is part of a larger international fraud ring.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We had a beautiful sunrise today in Dansville, as you can see on our pics on 6 today. We are going to continue to see probably some very beautiful sunrises, sunsets, as we continue to have just a little bit of that wildfire smoke in the upper atmosphere. We're going to continue to have warm temperatures overnight and even into the daytime. So again, air conditioners will probably be needed for tonight and for the foreseeable future. If you would like your pictures featured every evening at our 6 o'clock show, send it into our website, WLNS.com/share, and your picture could be featured on the show. Overall, we're going to continue to see these fair weather clouds starting to pop up, and that's going to continue overnight for tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. As we head into the day on tomorrow, or even right now, we're looking at temperatures into the 80s. 82-degree high, 81 degrees right now. As we head into Grand Ledge, there's that little bit of that haze on the horizon. 84 degrees right now after a high of 87 degrees. Down into Jackson, still seeing pretty clear skies with 82-degree temperature right now. As we head into Hillsdale, pop-up clouds are still moving into the forecast. 83-degree high, 82 degrees right now. Satellite radar showing those mostly clear skies across the area. Just some hit or miss pop-up clouds, and those are just going to be continuing for tonight. Now tomorrow we are going to see the chance for some scattered thunderstorms. Nothing too big to worry about, just your generic thunderstorm as we see convection into the afternoon and evening. Our big chance for some severe weather looks to be Wednesday into Wednesday night, where we have a level 2 out of 5 for most of mid-Michigan, and this includes the chance for some large hail, damaging winds, and even maybe some very heavy rain, and yes, possibility of a tornado. So as we can see on our satellite and radar, we're going to continue to see very dry weather in the forecast. We're just going to see this low pressure system continue to pull to the east. We have a high pressure system to our north and a cold front that is going to be draped right across part of Wisconsin, and it's going to stay there for the day tomorrow. Let's track this out for you right now. Heading into tonight, mostly cloudy skies continue, and then we'll eventually see some sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow. We do see those afternoon showers possibly as the cold front passes through. Then as we head into the day on Wednesday, a warm front moves in, allowing for extra energy. Now then we have a cold front moving through Wednesday night that will trigger some of those stronger storms, which could have some severe weather in it, including those gusty winds, damaging hail, and even, yes, some very heavy rain. Overall, we're going to continue to see those cloudy skies as we head into the day on Wednesday. Tonight, temperatures fall back down into the 60s, around 66 degrees with partly cloudy skies, so very warm temperatures for our overnight lows. Heading into tomorrow, temperatures back into the 80s, around 85 with partly cloudy skies. The chance for an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but nothing too severe to worry about. It isn't until Wednesday that we see those temperatures still into the 80s, but have a better chance to see those stronger to possibly severe storms in the forecast, so have multiple ways to get alerts, including possibly our Storm Tracker 6 app, and we'll see those temperatures continuing to be into the 80s as we head into the end of the week and into the 90s for the weekend.
I talked to her about it, and you guys talked about it, but we haven't talked about 91 degrees next week.
I'll be inside, just in the fan or in the air conditioning.
It's pool weather.
I'm a different person in 90 degrees, and I'm not like super happy, you know, so I steer clear.
See, I'm okay with like the heat. It's when you add the heat and humidity that's just
gross.
like, ugh, no.
Yeah.
I get that.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.